Albania is perhaps the most mysterious and distinctive country in Europe, which for half a century was isolated from the rest of the world. We've heard all kinds of myths about Albania. That it's a country of Mercedes and the black market for organs, kidnapping, mountains of garbage, and danger from all sides. Our friends warned us not to go to Albania. But despite all the advice, we decided to see for ourselves the country of Mercedes and other stories. In Albania, we visited 3 main resorts. The first video from our summer series is dedicated to the town of Ksamil, the southernmost city in Albania, which is located almost on the border with mainland Greece, as well as the island of Corfu. If you decide to go by car from Greece, use the ferry crossing. This way, you can not only save 20 to 30 minutes on the road, but also visit the Betrint Park. Unfortunately, our travel plan was so tight that there was no room for Betrint, but the rope crossings for €5 are quite an interesting entertainment and not in the European style. The main differences of Ksamil from other Albanian resorts that we visited are higher prices for everything around, fewer hotels, and slightly fewer people. Although in reality, there are a lot of people, and no European country provokes so many conflicting opinions. Many people are simply afraid to come here, and completely in vain. Albania is even a safer country than some European countries, and the crime rate here is quite low. When you arrive in Albania, you travel in a conditional time machine. This country with traditional views, where European and Muslim traditions, technological progress, and the color of the early 20th century harmoniously combine. However, if you want to pay for something with a card and withdraw cash from an ATM, be prepared for it to become a big problem. Albania was truly a closed country during the communist era, that is, until 1991, the date of the collapse of the USSR and the Socialist Bloc. Albania is a small country with a population of about 3 million people located in the western part of the Balkan Peninsula. It borders Serbia, Montenegro, Greece, and Macedonia. Albania is an official candidate for membership in the European Union. Albania is a country of 2 seas, the Adriatic and the Ionian, with a huge coastline of over 360,000 meters. 70% of the country's territory is occupied by mountains. And where there are mountains, there are eagles, since the Albanians themselves call their country the land of eagles. Eagles are even on the flag of Albania, and jokingly Albania is called the country of eagles and Mercedes, and this is true. Not less than 5 to 6 out of 10 cars on the road will be Mercedes. Many also introduce Volkswagen, but it is considered that this car is more for women, while Mercedes is created for men. You may be interested in where the Albanians get so much money to spend on German cars. The answer is simple. Most of the cars here are used or have a suspicious history. The price for a Mercedes starts from $1,000, but they say you can find even cheaper. Most likely, you will not be able to take this car out of the country, but you can travel all over Albania. Moreover, today an Albanian cannot imagine himself without a car. They almost do not walk on foot, and very few people buy Mercedes in official dealerships. Undoubtedly, such a passion for cars goes back to the past. 30 years ago, under Enver Hoxha, a complete ban on purchasing a car for personal ownership was in effect for several years. Although this norm has long been abolished, the feeling of a forbidden fruit remains. Albania is an excellent alternative to Montenegro with its overcrowded resorts in July-August. And if compared to Europe, firstly, a visa is not required to enter Albania, and secondly, summer holidays here are cheaper than even in Cyprus. No wonder that the development of European tourism in Albania is on the rise. Tourists are attracted to Albania by nature, pleasant climate, warm sea and more than 300 sunny days a year. Here, hospitable locals, fresh fish, seafood, and affordable prices are waiting for you. In Albania, at the state level, the use of GMO pesticides and other chemicals in the cultivation of vegetables and fruits, and the production of food is prohibited. Therefore, you can safely eat in small restaurants and cafes, buy quality products in stores. The cuisine in Albania is Balkan Turkish, with a wide variety of meat dishes, with many seasonings and stewed vegetables. The small resort left, perhaps, the most vivid impressions. This is a real gem by the sea. The hallmark of a beach holiday in Albania is the photo of Ksamil. A magnificent combination of the amazing color of the transparent sea, wonderful white beaches and small green islands in the sea. The smallest town in Albania is located 13 kilometers from the larger resort, Saranda on the coast of the Ionian Sea, opposite the island of Corfu. Ksamil is a young resort, There are still few hotels in the city and mostly for rent villas or apartments with free parking. However, for the sake of the stunning beauty of the beaches of Ksamil, tourists are ready to endure a lot of vacationers in an unobtrusive service with a limited list of services, and the lack of entertainment familiar to large resort cities. In recent years, Ksamil has become one of the country's most popular seaside resorts, taking in the season a huge flow of tourists from all over Europe, especially Italians. Locals also adore rest in Ksamil and call it Albanian Maldives for the amazing beauty of nature. Ksamil beaches are among the top 10 best beaches in Europe. Nature has divided the coastline of Ksamil into a number of small beaches with a beautiful frame of bizarre rocks. It's hard to believe, but the wonderful white sand on the beaches of Ksamil is a white shell graded to a fine crumb, and the beaches here were naturally rocky. The stunning color of the water in the bays is actually pale blue, and somewhere bright blue, and in some places turquoise or emerald, like on exotic islands. If we add to the amazing color of the water, the purity and transparency of the sea even at depth and dazzling white beaches, it becomes clear that Ksamil Beach is a true gift of nature. Opposite Ksamil there are 4 more small islands. You can walk to the nearest 2 along the bottom or swim to the other 2, more distant, using boats or sea catamarans. There is also a water taxi. You will be taken to the island and picked up from there after a while. You can stay there for the whole day, or you can return with someone. Boats often ply between the islands, thanks to the islands blocking Ksamil from the open sea. There are no big waves here. The beaches of Ksamil with white sand and a gentle entrance to the sea are an ideal place for families with children. There are good restaurants near the beaches where you can taste a variety of fresh seafood dishes, but often you can only pay for your food in cash. Ksamil is a place of contrasts. Now the resort has several good and expensive hotels, a pretty good nightclub has appeared, but in general, like Mian said before, it feels like you were returning to the 20th century. The cost of sun loungers on the beach ranges from 5 to 30 euros, depending on the season and proximity to the water. The high season is mid-July-August. There are, of course, a lot of people. We just visited here during the high season. It is better to come to the beach early in the morning in order to have time to take good places and enjoy the proximity of the sea. And if you are by car, you need to have time to park in the right place, because there is a huge problem with parking during the season. It is very difficult to find a place. Ksamil Beach is divided into many small beaches. Each has its own name: La Playa under Ibe Stella Beach, Sunset Beach, 3 Island, Bora Bora Beach and many others. All beach amenities, sun loungers, shower umbrellas, as well as water activities are available. There are plenty of beach cafes and restaurants. In conclusion, I want to say that if you look at the world positively, look for new experiences and do not sell much value on the number of stars on the hotel doors and the availability of the all-inclusive system, be sure to come to Albania. This country is just beginning its ascent to the heights of the tourist Olympus, but is already one of the most picturesque places in Europe.
Thanks for watching. I tried very hard, and I will be grateful for your like, and also do not forget to subscribe so as not to miss the next videos.